So this is on partial and multiple rehabilitations. When we look to full mouth implant rehabilitations, then things start to change a little bit. Well, mainly because softwares don't have the correct accuracy that should have. But it's possible to plan implants from A to Z and still with a very high precision place implants and the correct position as you plan. Now the problem is not implant position because normally when you look to the literature these things have an offset of zero 0.5, zero 0.8. It means that in non-critical situations like the upper maxilla there's not much room for error. Now in this situation you see that we plan from A to Z our rehabilitation. That means that we plan it on a software, we then send the surgical guide, and from surgical guide, each implant is with the full guided restoration. That means that you have to follow again the guidelines from A to Z, but now in this time in a full mouth rehabilitation. But because of these things still don't have perfect fit because the intraoral scanner is not really made for full mouth rehabilitations. Sometimes they go in and you can place the prosto, and sometimes they don't and the prosthodontic work doesn't fit, or it goes in too much tension with not a passive fit. So that's the big problem and the big challenge nowadays with full mouth rehabilitation is the fit of the prosthodontic prosthesis, of the prosthodontic pods, and not really the surgery. Because if the literature tells you an offset of 0.5, no one cares if the implant is 0.5 with an offset. You don't clinically, it's not relevant. So the implant goes in the correct prosthodontic position. Now it's the prosthodontic part that's still not predictable. That means that fully digital workflows from A to Z in the full mouth rehabilitation, be careful. Is it possible? Yes. Is it possible? A lot of people use it? Yes. But they did so many things to adapt the digital world into their world that sometimes they lose the biological sense of it. And to use full mouth rehabilitations in a biological sense, and you try to incorporate digital technology, there's still some flaws in it. And so every systematic intraoral impression is now trying to give the final steps so they give me a reliable product on the full mouth rehabilitation. But this is a case where we did the full mouth rehabilitation, and you can see on the software that implant position is not a problem. The implants went in the correct surgical position as we planned, as you see in the picture. I mean, the problem is, again, is not the surgical position. The problem is the prosthodontic positions. But when these things are reliable, then we have a world of biomaterials, milled materials, 3D impression materials, that it's much better than what we have the traditional wax up, the traditional cast, wax up, and then mold it into acrylic and then cast the acrylic. No longer, because now we have the possibility to place those monolithic materials into the CAD/CAM machines and they start to mill the final rehabilitations. So once they will be predictable, we can go like this. We can plan our surgical guide, and of course this is not new. We know this for 10 years, but now the interesting stuff is that you take out implant companies from the equation. Remember that you have to send all of these files to the implant companies. Then the implant companies would bring up a little box with the surgical guide and with your final rehabilitation. Well, now with fully digital protocols, you have the ability to do that in your own share. You plan from A to Z, you plan your final rehabilitation, you place your implants, and now you're ready to go, even in full mouth rehabilitation cases. And now you can place your interfaces, you can play with colors, you can place nice pink gingiva, but everything is according that you plan. And then on the day of the surgery, patient finishes the surgery and screw retain final rehabilitation. Now, what is the downside of this? Yes, I'm showing you a case where he actually went in, but some cases are going in, some cases they don't. So in full mouth rehabilitation is the feel of the fully digital protocol when I say to you, be careful, because you may fall down on the problem of you don't have a passive fit of the framework, and then you have to go back and start all over again. So in full mouth rehabilitation, protocols for sure in 1 or 2 years would be very accurate. At the moment, in 2017, it's not really reliable in all hands and in all softwares to do a fully digital protocol.